Honorable Msezane.
No, thanks, Chair. I'll try to be very quick as well, since time is very limited. Maybe before I get to my questions, TTG Zoom, in your response to my fellow honorable member, you made assertions, if I may, or from where I'm seated, you implied that the principal is being challenged because, as he had said as well, that he got a position that was contested. And it would seem to me that as a department official and as a person that is in charge of the sector, you are taking a side. If not taking a side, you might be misconstrued. However that word is said, to be taking a side. I would want you to speak to that statement, maybe correct it unless you stand by it, because with the allegations that are made here by both the deputy principals and the principals, in as far as instability is concerned, for yourself as DPG to say, actually it's because, or at least that's how I received it, just to correct that statement or stick by it so that I get to my questions.
Yeah, no, thanks, Honorable Msezane. I made that statement after the presentation by the principal to say, upon his appointment, he then learned that he was contesting the position with the two deputies, whom he then says they then wrote to the department as to why they were not appointed, and that they will challenge this particular outcome. Being one of the people that have served in the sector for now close to 30 years, there's always, even when there hasn't been a contestation in terms of the position when it is advertised, but we are observing that from time to time, the tensions, if they are not between the council and management, at the administrative level is between the principal and the deputies.
DDG, because I don't have time, is that an assertion or you just reiterating what the principal said?
I was reiterating to say it's perhaps one of the perhaps one of the areas that we should have investigated as a department.
Okay, thanks, DDG.
Yes, not to say there's a particular side that I'm taking.
I think it was very important for me to get that clarity. And I think given the deputy principals that are alleged to be causing instability. Thank you very much. On the challenges, I think, Chair, I must also highlight that it was disappointing for the principal to speak on cross-cutting matters of TVET colleges when we are dealing with this particular TVET college and its challenges, because in that presentation he made, there are certain things that he was speaking about that refer to him and his challenges and his college, but also cut crossing and dealing with other issues of other colleges, which we couldn't even gather that because then that edited presentation, we don't have it here. So there are a number of issues that I couldn't really note and can't speak to, but I'm going to speak to the challenges that are in the report that we have. I'll speak to the first bullet from firstly to yourself, Principal. You said instability is caused by some high officials of the department. We'll ask you this again because you're in Parliament. Do you have proof of this, of those officials that are working with the deputy principals? You say two deputy principals are working with high officials of the department. Do you have the proof of this? Can you submit the proof of this?
I will submit. Sorry. Yes, I will submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. So they are working with the two deputy principals, one campus manager, and the assistant director.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. DG, in relation to the legislation, the principal says that you have effected Section 46 without one, due restriction, but two, without consulting or engaging with the college council. Is that correct? DG. No, it's directed to the DG because this one speaks to you, DG. It said that you did this. So I just want to confirm that.
That's not correct.
So it's a lie.
It's a misunderstanding of how the system operates.
Okay, DG, this is a submission made by the principal in the presentation.
Yeah.
So is the principal misleading this house by saying this? It can't be a misunderstanding of, it's either it's correct or the principal is lying to this house.
Yeah. Most of the time, the actions of the departments, when it's an authority of the of the DG that is a source of an action that needs to be taken, flow from the role of the minister. You know, and it would be clear when we say, you know, when we say that, but it's very rare when that happens. And it is correct that the principal says there are gaps in the legislation, and there's no dispute about it. But we don't act outside of the law, and that is what I'm trying to say, Honorable Member.
SPG, Principal, you were alleging that 2 of your 5 deputies has entry or is now friends with the DG. Therefore, these charges that has gained or says gained entry into the DG's office, that's why you are being charged. You have proof of this?
Yes, I have proof that I've sent so many things to the DG, did not respond. But when they send something, he acts very quickly. For example, on the 21st of August, Mr. Boy sent a grievance against me. On the 2nd of August, on the 28th of August, on the 2nd of September, I had already received a notice of investigation immediately. So it is, for me, when you do the inference, it is clear that you send 70 things to the office of the DG. None of them is what is responded to. Someone sends something a few days ago, then it is responded to. So the inference is very clear. And I can say that is my evidence. Thank you, Honorable.
Thanks, Principal. Maybe to speak to the deputy principals here, the principal says that you haven't been to work for, I don't know, for a long time. Even the SRC says that. Can you confirm that you're not working from the campus, and why is that?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think the reference was to other deputy principals. We have, as the principal himself indicated, the CFO, who has not been at the college since February 2025. I am at the office daily, unless I am on a study leave of whatever kind, which in essence, his office at the end of the day authorizes. So I have not been away from the college unless there's an authorization for me to be away from the college. I know that Mrs. Reddy has been away on incapacity leave for a long time. And I'm aware that Dion van Rooyen has also been suspended, which is a matter at this point I wouldn't really speak to. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. Principal, which college principals or deputy principals are absent from work without your knowledge of where they are, or whom you can account for?
Sorry. I can account for all of them. I can account for all of them, but I know that they are not at work. I have indicated the CFO. The CFO left the college before I came back from suspension. And and then I made communications to say, where are you? Then he reflected that he was given permission for safety purposes to work from out of the campus because he had been receiving threats and so forth.
Principal,
so I am aware of it.
Principal, that's not the question. Who amongst the deputy principals is not at work?
That's what-
them. Don't tell us about.
Okay, Miss Reddy, as he has indicated, is true. She's not at work for a period of around 248 days, working days, until today.
Can't account for her.
I can't account for it.
Okay. That's the only deputy principal that you can account for.
That's the only deputy principal that I can't account for.
Okay. SRC, you said that there is a mistake also that you sing here for the first time after a long time. I think there would be one deputy principal. Who would that be?
It's Mr. Boy and Miss Reddy in absentia.
Thank you very much. Let me deal with you, SRC, for now. You, in your submission, you claimed that there are certain students that must study an extra year because of shortage of lecturers. Do you have the numbers of these students? How many students are those that are affected that must come back for an extra year to complete their course?
I don't quite have it in numbers, but I can get the number for you.
Okay, Principal, is this accurate that there's students that are affected to that magnitude where they must come an extra year? Obviously, you must understand the impact that has even in their funding.
Yes, Honorable and Chair, I am aware of it. They were affected when I was on suspension, and I've now addressed it, and they are now back.
Can we get a report on that, Principal?
Definitely, you will get one.
DG, on what grounds was the principal suspended? Is there a report that indicated that the principal must be suspended for what period and all of that?
Was suspended on the basis of findings of the PSC report.
The principal says that the report was not made public. Is it in your position, DG?
The report was not a product of an investigation by the DG, of which then the DG would release that report. But this was an investigation by the PSC. And then in its execution, it was then processed by the chamber. And based on then the recommendations, the department will then process it through the Director General's office, and charges were then preferred against the principal based on that.
Okay, DG, you're confusing me because there's a lot of English you are speaking there and a lot of terms. I'm asking, do you have the report of the Public Commission,
Yes.
the Service Commission? You have it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now in suspending the principal, what was the reason behind that? Okay, let me not say the reason. What was intended if the principal is suspended for whatever period it was and now is back in office, but the report remains in your position? What was the intention of suspending the principal?
Okay, the precautionary suspension is about protecting the integrity of the investigation. And it is regulated after a period of time. It is assumed that the investigation after 30 days, if not extension to 60 days. Beyond that point, and it was the case with him, after the exhaustion of the 60 days, we agreed with the minister that there is no ground for keeping him under suspension any further. So we then reinstated him, but the investigations continue.
Okay, please close your mic, DG. The SRC claims that they had to go on strike with other staff members and close down teaching and learning in order for the principal to come back. Can you just confirm that again, SRC? And DG, you can comment on that.
That is correct.
DG? No. You said that because the time had lapsed, that's the only reason why the principal came back. But the SRC said they had to strike to get the principal to come back.
Yes, indeed, that's correct. But I think it's important to also indicate that the department is engaged with the college. For example, there's interventions by the regional manager, interventions by the unit in the office of the DDG that were continued. Because remember, the dissatisfaction in the college is not just about one matter. So I would not necessarily associate a protest with the decision that I have made. But I can assure you that it was not linked. Our decision to reinstate the principal was not linked to the protest.
Thanks. Maybe, Chair, cutting short, since the time has lapsed, although there's a number of questions that one would have wanted to ask. Okay. All right, Chair. So, Principal, you say that you handle matters of sexual harassment yourself. Do you have a committee that deals with such sensitive matters? Because I saw here that all three matters you were involved. And lastly, the two matters that you say have closed, those are serious sensitive matters of sexual harassment. How did they close? Because you don't say it here. Whether it was a gentleman's agreement on one matter, I think it was the second matter, you said that they apologized to each other, but it is recorded as sexual harassment, which is a very serious offense. So one, do you have a delegated team that deals with disciplinary matters when it comes to sexual harassment? And lastly, how are you the person that is at the center of dealing with these matters? Thank you very much. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member. We have the policy and the policy procedure that guides us on issues that are handled at the college, especially those issues. All the three issues were grievances that were submitted. So we use the grievance handling procedure that is currently available. The unit that is supposed to be dealing with it is the unit of Mr. Boy. It is the sole responsibility of Mr. Boy to deal with such issues. I am the executing authority in terms of the process of grievance. If the grievances cannot be dealt with completely at the level of Mr. Boy, then it comes to the executive office. When it is failed to be handled properly, then it is proceeding to either PSC or any other person. In terms of the first one that I've talked about, two lecturers, one, they were actually in the same room. They were in the same place. But what I'm saying is they were handled, the issue was handled before I even arrived at the college, but it was not, it failed to go through until I had then to come in. After the process has been done, the decision given by the two, remember, I don't give, I just facilitate. They then said, the other one said, we need to apologize to each other. But the other one also said, I need to go for therapy. I recommended to HR to say, you must take this person for therapy. And she went for therapy. So that was the decision that was made for the first one. The second one, it was about touching. The other one said, I was touched when I think they were on an assembly, what. And it was handed to Mr. Boy. Mr. Boy did not do anything until it was escalated to the principal. So when it was escalated to the principal, in terms of the resolution 14 of 2002, I am supposed to handle it as the executive, and it was handled. This is how I handled it. I then requested that an external person come and facilitate. So that was the report that I then received, which said that this is the outcome. That's why I say it was closed. And indeed it was closed because no one came back to say this was not dealt with. The third one, I think I've indicated that it was not actually a grievance, but it was an incident, a report sent by the students to say this is what happened. As I was busy trying to handle the issue, the person was actually arrested. And as we speak, he is in custody. So that is how I come in. I don't just come in. It is the process and the procedures that are there, which then forces me to come.
Yeah, Mr. Boy, why are you not dealing with the serious issues of GBV? Close your mic, Principal.
Yeah, Chairperson, I think we're going to do a lot of mudslinging. The process in the college is that we have a labor relations officer, which is in my office or within my department. So when the labor relations officer ordinarily receives a complaint or a matter, we then will write to the principal to say to him, we have received this matter or this issue, and as such, we then make a request to his office for the appointment of an investigator on that particular issue. In some cases, the matter will be investigated by the labor relations officer, or in some cases, will be investigated by somebody that his office would have recommended. So in all the cases he's referring to, that process was followed. In fact, it's just that really it's not in my nature to engage in that level of thinking. What delayed the one issue he's referring to is that he initially said in our discussion he wants a forensic investigation. To which I said, but what is a forensic investigation? What is it that you want to test with forensic investigation in this matter? It's a matter of one of our colleagues here at City Campus. I won't mention the name. So there was ultimately then he said, oh, no, a number of other delays in the process, but ultimately said, no, we are going to appoint a person from outside, to which he appointed a person from Northlink College. And the person investigated the matter. It's not that Mr. Boyd didn't do anything. I followed the process as per the process. And when the person investigated the matter, the person gave the outcome, and the outcome is for the principal to implement. So in that case, the principal received the outcome from the person he has appointed. What is not telling this committee, though, is that in 2024, we received a complaint, and that's the last matter he's referring to, and he's very tactical in the way he's reporting to that issue. The issue of the students that were raped or sexually abused. I received a complaint from an email from 2 students in 2024, must be last year. And this I think it got on the 19th of March. And on the 20th, I think it was a 21st or the 20th, must have 21st, sorry, it was a public holiday. I went to Crawford to establish. We were told many years ago that whenever a student complains about something, especially of that nature, we need to quickly act on it. So I went to Crawford campus to understand what the student was talking about. So in summary, there were 2 students, female students, that were complaining about one official at the residence who has just been appointed by the principal without even following processes. But that's a discussion for another day. This official was harassing these students, things like, taking photos of the students without their consent, monitoring their movements, telling security not to allow them to leave the campus and all those kinds of things. So that was a summary of the report I got from the students. And I recorded that. I then returned to the office and I wrote a report to the principal. And in my report, I made a recommendation. And that's documented evidence. I said to the principal, I received this issue. It's of concern to me, but it requires investigation as per other matters. So I'm recommending that we investigate and suspend this official. There's no loss to the college or to the person. The principal's response was very strange. He said, I will only deal with this matter once you report it properly. I said, okay. And this is now us talking on the emails. I said, but what does that mean? And it escalated to, another issue. He never responded really to the issue of the students. Then I decided to ask for advice because part of it has a labor relations component. I asked advice from the labor relations to say, colleagues, how do we deal with this matter? The advice was, okay, one of the ways is that you must, in fact, before I did that, I submitted it to the office of Mr. Madalan, the acting regional manager. He did not respond. I was advised, give him 7 days and contact him again. Again, after 7 days, I contacted Mr. Matalan. There's this issue. Again, he did not respond. I think ultimately when he responded, it was after quite some time. And his response was also very far from the matter. He said, oh yeah, something like this. I've heard of the problems there at the college and I'm going to come there. You guys are not, bigger than the college itself. So ultimately, these students, this matter was not addressed. I think I sent it to the office of Mr. Zungu. I'm speaking under correction, but I think I did send it to his office to say I have this matter and it's not being dealt with. I'm concerned of what has happened to those students. It may be true, it may not be true, but it requires an investigation. This person that I'm referring to, who was committing these allegations of sexual abuse, is the same person he's referring to in terms of his last report there. That this person, as we speak, is going through a trial with allegations of having, according to the allegations or the charges, having raped, I think, about 9 students at that residence. Now, the biggest concern we have had, all of us, is whether these other alleged rapes have taken place in that time where we have reported that there's a challenge at the campus, so at the residence, or whether they have taken place after. But the point being that I regarded that as the non-action from the side of the principal, and I think it is even most concerning if that those things have taken place after we have reported. In other words, these things could have been prevented if the reporting itself was addressed. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah. So you are saying, as an HR deputy principal. Okay, maybe before I get there. Your sexual harassment policy, what does it say about the immediate steps that must be taken?
So the sexual harassments, we deal with them according to Resolution 1 of 2003, which is almost like a code of disciplinary procedures, which is the same document that the department uses. So the disciplinary procedures, or this collective agreement, enlists, but it's not exhaustive. It enlists all the types of transgressions that staff will commit. But to the best of my knowledge, we don't necessarily have a specific policy that talks to sexual harassment. However, we deal with sexual harassment in the same realm as per the Resolution 1 of 2003.
Yeah, so in the absence of you having a sexual harassment policy yourselves, then the one of the department must then take effect. The gentleman of the LRA from the department has left, no? Where is he? Oh, Kwena LRA. Yeah. What is the sexual harassment policy of the department saying on this particular one, the sexual harassment policy? What does it say?
Thank you, Chairperson. The sexual harassment related for the students, it's not within my directorate. There's a directorate, social inclusion, that deals with that in terms of capacitating the colleges. But when it comes to the sexual harassment, you relied on the code that was developed by the minister when it comes to employees, as well as the resolution as it says. But I'm quite aware that at colleges, there is higher health who also provide support in such circumstances if they are reported, for students in particular, not for the officials. So I'm more related on officials, not on students. But I can confirm that the email was, insofar as Mr. Boy is saying, he did send it to me, but I indicated to him, look, I can't interfere in this and assist because the official that you are referring to is appointed in terms of Section 20, subsection 1 to 2, which is additional on establishment. It's not appointed by the DG or by the minister. So I can't assist, but you can try and see how we handle it as a college.
Okay, Principal, the allegation is that Mr. Boy wrote to you to implement consequence management on sexual harassment, and you dilly-dally to explain.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Mr. Boy, indeed. Sorry, Honorable Chairperson. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe I'm tired.
Don't be
and
too close to the mic.
Thank you. Indeed, Chairperson, Mr. Boy wrote an email after one day holiday where he went to all our campuses investigating. I don't know what he was investigating because
Principal, I'm going to have a problem with you. Ne? You are really testing my patience, and I don't think you want me to be tested. I told you I don't want political statements. I'm asking you a specific question. Can you please respond? I don't want us to get. Don't push me to get to the other side. You won't like it.
No, that's fine. You can reiterate the question, and then I'll answer it.
I'm asking you a question. Mr. Boy makes an allegation that he went on one of the campuses and there was a guy that you employed irregularly without a process. This person was reported to be taking pictures of women, young girls, students there. He reported to you to institute disciplinary processes. What did you do? There's two questions.
I instituted the disciplinary. This is how the process unveiled. Number one, as soon as he told me that email, I went to the campus manager who is in charge of that residence, and we had a meeting immediately. I went there, we had a meeting, and then she actually gave me a true picture of the people that she had interviewed to say they were not part of that thing. It was a report. And then I appointed a person. In this case, I appointed the deputy principal of CET College to come and deal with the issue. So as it worked as just instantaneously that when she was coming to deal with the issue, the person was then arrested. At that particular time, was arrested and he left.
What was the time frame between the email that you got about the incident and the...
I think it was in a period of a week or 2, 3, 4 days. Because when I received it, the following day, I went to the campus manager. I requested the campus manager to write a report regarding that and investigate.
That's fine. We'll not get into
nitty-gritties.
You will give us the emails, Mr.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
You will give us the responses.
Yes.
You will give us a case number. We'll get when was the person arrested so that we confirm these 3 days, 4 days that we are talking about. I don't want us to go around this. And then this person, there's an allegation that you appointed him without a process.
That is not true. That is not true.
Okay, what is the process that you followed up?
The truth of the matter is the person was appointed by the then deputy principal innovation and development as an intern, because that person was our president at our campus. So when they finished, we are implementing the presidential decree that we must take our students for the first years so that they can get experiential. So there were 17 students and he was one of them who were taken to be in that. So when the program ended, in fact, before the program ended, the supervisor who was at the residence of Crawford immediately resigned. And then I received an email of resignation. Sorry, not a letter of resignation. I sent the same letter to HR to say, look at this situation that is pertaining. Immediately after that, I was given a recommendations by those who were working with this former SRC, including the residence manager with the campus manager, to say, we need this one because he's respected by students. So we used the secondment policy that is existing at the college. So the person was taken. The first, we gave him 6 months. I think it was 6 months or less. As the contract ended there, I gave him because we wanted to employ a long-term person, not him, because it was just a secondment. When it ended, the residence manager, who is the campus manager, wrote to the principal and said, principal, we recommend that he proceeds. If you can extend, because he is very good in what he is doing. So that is the gist of all what happened.
So he was appointed by you through using the secondment policy.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. No, not this time. HR does not enter in this process.
No. In secondment, they don't enter into it. They administer it.
So
And they
secondment,
did, yes.
secondment means, I'll just look at it. Secondment means the principals take charge. What is the policy?
The process is that when you want someone to be seconded, where the person is supposed to be seconded is that the ones that they request. And then there is consultation done between the departments to say, do we have a suitable candidate for that? And then the requester or the supervisor of that area will then make an application straight to the principal. I approve the application and that person signs, and then the person is then redeployed to that place.
So which document is this?
Is the secondment policy
Of what?
of human resources, of staff.
Of your own college or
Yes, our own college. We have it.
Okay.
Which was an adoption from DHET.
And if it's an adoption from DHET, because the DHET one speaks about the advertisement even when seconding. 2.2, advertising of secondments. I'll read it for you. It says, when a vacancy has been identified as a secondment opportunity in the department, that will be advertised through the normal internal recruitment process. However, this excludes ministerial determination posts. That is number one. 2.2.2, secondment vacancies will have full job descriptions and specifications drawn up. 2.2.3, all fixed term or temporary vacancies with a duration of 1 year and less must be advertised. So I'm asking, which secondment policy did you utilize? And press.
We utilize the policy that has been adopted or admitted from the department with amendments. So when you go to our college, you will see a secondment policy of the College of Cape Town.
So if I go on the internet now,
yes,
I'll find a
no, not on the internet. We have got the BMS which cannot be accessed from here.
Who can get me that secondment policy quickly? Send it to Anne. I want to interrogate when my time comes for questions. I want to interrogate this secondment policy.
Thank you.
Honorable Souls.